Ghazipur, near the national capital, Delhi. Most of what the city eats comes from this wholesale market of fresh produce. The dairies here are the largest suppliers of fresh milk in the region.
This milk might seem completely pure to you, but it could also contain a lot of chemicals like dioxin, furans and heavy metals. For I'm standing just in front of two of the major waste disposal facilities in the city. The Ghazipur landfill and the upcoming incinerator to burn the waste. Both these facilities emit chemicals like heavy metals and dioxins, which are very toxic to human health. So it won't be a coincidence if this milk I'm holding in my hand would contain some of these chemicals from these waste disposal facilities.
Toxics Link, a voluntary organization working to protect the environment, has identified why we find dioxins all around us today.
According to WHO, 90% of the exposures to dioxin is through the food we eat. So many of us could be exposed without knowing about it, because this is invisible pollution. This could be caused by waste incineration, open burning of waste, which is not properly controlled, or plastic burning, or similar sources. We could be intaking this dioxin, which impacts our health, through the food directly or indirectly through air emissions, which then translate into food and through water.
Apart from these major sources, dioxins are released during the production of metals, minerals, chemicals, and bricks. Vehicular pollution is also a source of dioxins released into the environment. Dioxins and furans are persistent organic pollutants, POPs. Once they enter the body, they are persistent and cannot be broken down easily. When a fetus is exposed to dioxins, the harmful effects are likely to last through life. The toxins begin to get magnified and grow within the person. Also, when we eat food that contains dioxins or furans, the harmful chemicals accumulate in our fatty tissues, making them very difficult to flush out.
Once they enter in your body, they stay there for around so long, that is around 7 to 11 years. Like, number of effects are there, the side effects. One is they have developmental effects on the fetus. They are going to have some reproductive effects are there. Definitely people will have respiratory problems once the number of dioxins, the concentration increases. Then same way even endocrine effects are there. We find thyroid dysfunction is more now, either hyper or hypo is there. And we have some transitory effects also, like you find some skin darkenings and some rashes of the skin are also seen.
One important source of dioxin emissions are waste incinerators. Sukhdev Vihar is a middle-class colony in Delhi. Residents were taken aback when a new waste incinerator was commissioned here.
लास्ट टाइम क्योंकि एक हफ्ते में आए थे.
As far as this particular facility goes, it is dangerously close to the colonies. And I know that the industrial siting norms require that anything that emits a smell or a noise or pollution or other types of pollution must be at a minimum of 1 kilometer away. That is the Ministry of Environment and Forest rule. MOEF rules say that already. Now they've gone and sited this plant within 100 meters of the wall, of the compound wall.
Waste incinerators are potentially the major sources of dioxin emissions, and we have many waste incinerators come up in the country. The waste incinerators are used in hazardous waste incineration, in biomedical waste incineration, and in future we may be having municipal solid waste incinerators in the country.
Waste management is posing an ever-growing challenge in India. Traditionally, landfills have been used to dispose waste, but land is limited in cities. What's more, dioxins are generated in landfills too. So waste incinerators are the real solution, but only when they follow stringent emission norms. The Stockholm Convention, an international environment treaty signed in 2001, aims to eliminate or restrict the generation of persistent organic pollutants in the world. India can learn from countries like Germany that have successfully overcome challenges similar to what we face here today.
Since the last 40 years, it became clear then that, of course, waste incineration, if not done properly, can lead to a lot of environmental pollution and a lot of health hazards due to pollutants coming out of the chimneys. And it has led to a feeling the incineration plants in Germany need to be improved. That was a start of a process which took about 20-30 years of constant improvement of the technologies to come up with a system from which one can really say it is manageable, it is clean, it is efficient, and can be really appreciated by everybody as part of a sustainable solid waste management system.
The control of dioxins based on two parameters. One, the effective burning. Once you have achieved effective burning with optimal temperatures, then you have to clean up the gases coming as a result of combustion. If you don't design the incinerators properly or your combustion parameters are not stabilized properly, this will result into formation of dioxins.
Today, very few people know about dioxins or the dangers they pose. A 2011 study by the Central Pollution Control Board estimates that dioxins are responsible for 4 out of every 10 people who die of cancer in India. This alarming statistic alone should be enough to wake us all up to the threat that we face from this invisible enemy. Unless we take strong steps now, it may be too late for the generations to come.